you are an elite biohacker and you know so much about it, what are the fundamentals you would say in biohacking that maybe Brian Johnson got right and that you are implementing that aren't that expensive at all?
Oh, one single simple olive oil.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that
Nice.
thing
I like it. I
is
like that answer. I
yeah,
was not expecting that.
yeah.
I was expecting
No
some
one,
like profound, like, but I mean, it is. It's just, all right, go into that. Olive oil. Let's go there.
yeah, olive oil. Like nobody thinks about that. Taking olive oil every day, like a spoon, three
Yeah.
times a day, and that's one of the best biohack out there. It's not expensive. It's accessible. It's even almost not at cost because you can get it like good quality, of course, cost a bit, but
Yeah.
a spoon doesn't cost much. He has that in his protocol, and he has super expensive spermidine and stuff like that that are
Right.
like way on the other extreme. Um, but this is like a simple one. I still recommend that. And olive oil. We've been talking about MCTR with
Mm-hmm.
my great friend Dave Asprey, that he puts MCTR
Yep.
everywhere.
And
That's
everything.
another
Yeah.
one.
He's
Another
another one that
extreme.
spends a lot. I don't think he's at 2 million a year, although all those stem cells and hundreds of pills, maybe. Who knows?
Well, don't ask him, otherwise he's gonna block you on Instagram.
Oh no, no. I enjoy Dave. I know him a little bit here and there. We've talked, and he's tried some of our stuff. But I listen again. Something more power to him, because they are both serving as sort of guinea pigs to the world in
Yeah,
some ways and showing
yeah,
things off. So that's education, good for them. But let's get back to olive oil. So tell me,
yeah.
when are you taking that, or when should people
Every
take that?
day, actually, in the morning, and with your, if you take breakfast, if you don't do intermittent fasting, because you don't do intermittent fasting every day, if you do it well. So you take olive oil, and then at lunchtime or with your shake, and before going to bed, it's a great thing for your brain. That added with magnesium threonate,
Hmm.
perfect sleep, recovery, BDNF at the highest level, and cleaning up your brain. So it it's something that is not expensive. He brought that up in the protocol he was trying to set up. And I'm glad that he's pushing on it on a daily basis, because this is something that I would love to see people like Dave Asprey or Ben Greenfield
Hmm.
preaching more about those simple, free or close to free tip and biohack that you can use. Like,
Yeah.
waking up in the morning and taking a glass of water with salt and lemon, that doesn't cost much, is
Right.
accessible to everyone, but no one is promoting that.
Yeah.
Why?
It's very true that nowadays you want to be marketable, and that's not very marketable. It's also very true that if you don't attach yourself to something, and you kind of give this, hey, everything may have some benefit, let's look at it holistically, that's not very sexy. That's not celery juice to the medical medium. I like the guy,
Correct.
but I know his marketing team was like, hey, you got to just get one thing that's going to impact a bunch and just put it out there, and then get everyone sharing that they're like, of
Yeah.
course, if you go from your frappuccino with so much
Yeah.
sugar and crap in it to celery, it's going to be an improvement. I could
Of
say the same if
course.
you went to any natural juice, or just
Yeah.
water with lemon with a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
salt in it too. So I kind of I get the marketing hype, and I get where people want to be led by a singular piece that seems like almost a silver bullet to them.
Mm-hmm. Well, NAD then is
Yeah.
the only one that is there. I know that you have a product that
Yeah.
is there. I was looking at the composition of your product. Actually, very interesting mix.
Yeah. That was not me per
You're gonna
se.
have to explain me, because you choose those ingredients for a
Yeah.
reason.
Oh, very, very long, trial and error, but also even looking at it, bioenergetic, all sorts of ways we were looking at these synergies. And it was my father. My father is a doctor, has been doing this a very long time, and using NAD and IVs for people with,
Hmm.
Parkinson's and Lyme
Yeah.
disease and brain fog, and seeing great results. And we always had talked about what's low hanging fruit in our medical center that we can offer. And of course, NAD is one of those that's incredibly hard to do in a bioavailable form and orally. You know, we had
Yeah,
nasal and
yeah.
everything, but we tried a long time, and we saw synergies between the CoQ10, the glycine, the bioavailability even with magnesium, bacopa, and, you know, and kept going at and the ratios are very important. You know, people don't
Yeah.
get that, and people don't understand that creating a supplement is not just taking ingredients and throwing it in a pill. That is not, that's like saying to a cook, like, take this piece of chicken, this salt, throw it together and just serve it. And it's gonna taste like crap, all right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
gotta do sprinkles sometimes of this to get
Yeah.
certain flavors out, and this, and maybe the meat, you know, the fat composition goes along well with something else. So it's an art form, and I'm glad I was a part of it in some way, but I really let my father kind of lead
Yeah,
that one and
because
do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, Chinese medicine understood that principle a long time ago,
Yes.
with those recipes and mixing the right amount of ingredients to do something.